Hunting mushrooms is all about pattern recognition, and I think that can be applied to a lot of different aspects of life. You're looking for a pattern you don't necessarily fully understand because you're looking for the shape and the color of the mushroom, but you're also looking for the environment that it grows in. But the more you start doing it, the more you have a sense and a feeling for where those places might be. So I'm getting my pattern better with morels finally, and I found a small amount of them, a few of them. Here's some, but you can see how hard they are to spot, how much they stick out from, say, a pine cone. How different are they, really? So when I'm mushroom hunting, I try and get a sense and a feeling for where they might be. And once I identify that and find the first one, after a long time searching, then I try and get a sense for the areas where they live, the environments that they grow in. That can be applied to other aspects of our life as well. We can find the aspects and the patterns of the situations that we enjoy and the situations that cause us harm. And the sooner we're identifying them, the more easily we're able to navigate through life. When I know that I'm going into my negative pattern, I can identify it and I can do things to dissuade it because I know what's coming if I go down that road. Same if I'm going into a positive pattern. Same if I'm trying to sense what I love in life and what I want to do in life, and I feel lost perhaps. I wait until the joyous part of me gets lit up, and I try to sense the pattern. Okay, what were the circumstances for this situation? Oh, I was laughing, I was dancing, I was in a position where I was fully able to express myself. Okay, what situations are those? What situations do I feel most at ease and most comfortable and most happy? And how can I place myself in that same pattern? Here's a situation that I love, being in the woods, hunting for these mushrooms. I mean, look how friggin' cute these mushrooms are. And I didn't find a lot, but I started to figure out the pattern, and that helps me to know that I can find these places again. Here it is, part of the pattern. Can I get a nice vision on that? This one was a double. And as I was walking over to get my knife, I found the pattern again. There it is. How much does that stick out on the forest floor? And I never would have found it if I didn't know what I was looking for. So that's something we can think about too. How are you gonna get it if you don't know what you're looking for? Questions. We follow the pattern, Who's this? Another one? Let's see. Is that a morel? I don't know. What I found in this moment is not a morel. It's a Gyomitra, which some people eat. Apparently, if you prepare it in the correct way, it is edible and tasty to some, but it can also cause bowel discomfort, or some sort of light mushroom poisoning. But it looked so much like what I wanted, looked so much like what I thought I needed, but it wasn't. And until I got home and I used my discernment, I didn't realize that. And this can happen so easily with relationships or with people or with jobs. It looks like what we want, but if we don't have it really clearly defined, what we're really looking for, what we actually need and desire, which in this case was morels, you could be fooled by a lookalike, and you could end up with a very upset stomach or a broken heart. So I just popped in to share that one piece that I learned in making this video. And I learned a little more about mushrooms, so that was cool. Following the pattern here. What else? Where else? That's what they look like when they grow big. You can feel like you're on the wrong path when you haven't seen anything that you're looking for a long time. And all of a sudden, boom, pops out of nowhere. Because you have a sense for where you need to be. And if you have a sense for where you need to be, if you're cultivating your presence and you're cultivating your feeling and understanding of the world, then good things will continue to happen to you. You might not know exactly what you're looking for or how it's going to come into your life, but there's a sense when you find it, a sense of knowing, I think. And I think that's important with the relationships we're making in our lives too. When we see it, we sense it, we know it, not from a place of disillusion where we're just like, oh, this is such a hot chick, this is such a hot guy, oh my god, they would make my life so much better. It's a real knowing. But that's not going to happen if you live in illusion and if you live constantly in distraction and you're not honest with yourself and tuned into what's actually going on in your life. Thing is, you never know where you're going to find what you're looking for. You find it in very unexpected situations and circumstances. Places you can never think that something like this could grow. We're in the sun. It looks like this morel is just growing right out of a rock. But that's one more. But if I didn't have my eyes open and a sensitivity to the world, I would have walked right past this. And I'm sure I walked past very many because they're hard to spot. But having that open lens, that open heart, that open mind makes you see so much more. See, look at this old dried mushroom. Not a morel, but interesting dried and desiccated mushroom. Let's take a look at this guy, see what he looks like. He formed such a strange shape because of where he grew. Very little cap, but he's here. Are his friends around? Do mushrooms go uphill or downhill? Do they want to go closer to the lightness or the dark? Closer to the water or the dry? All those answers seem pretty easy, but we don't know unless we keep looking, right? So let's see what more we can find. We never know where our search will take us, our hunt will take us. We're looking for something, right? And then we find something else that we didn't know we needed. All of a sudden we're standing alone next to a brook in meditation and peace. How did we even get here? Where do we go from here? The more open we are to life, the grander experience we get to have. We get to check out something else insane if we're open. Look at this tree struck by lightning. And yet it grows. That's pretty cool to me. Getting to places that we didn't know were there and seeing the detail and the beauty in every place, every space. Especially if you're in the natural world, but in the city as well. There's beauty everywhere, constantly. And we're 90% of the time, more realistically, unaware of the beauty that's surrounding us. We are not present with what's happening in the world. And I'm not talking about global politics kind of stuff. I'm talking about literally what is happening in my world in front of me. What is happening now? I'm standing, I feel nice and warm. There's a slight cool breeze. I'm in the shade. I'm listening to the babbling brook. I'm seeing beautiful green trees. Dappled light cuts through the forest to the floor. And wow, if that's not peaceful, I don't know what is. Where can I expand that into my everyday life and have that level of presence? Easy thing to say that we've all heard a lot, but it's a constant practice to actually achieve that. And see if I can find any more mushroom friends, and then I'm gonna turn around. Oh yeah, squidging right through. Squeezing through. Another cool thing I found. I'm pretty sure that this is wild asparagus. I foraged some of it and I'm gonna bring it home and use my online resources for identification to double check, but mushroom asparagus dinner sounds pretty nice. Wild forage sounds even better. There is something truly satisfying and unique about finding your own food in the woods, foraging your own food. Another little waterfall. Another treat for me. Bumblebee. When you know what you're looking for, you get better at recognizing the pattern, and you get better at identifying that particular thing, that particular relationship, that particular friendship, that particular job, whatever it may be. And you also get better at identifying what's not for you and what isn't actually what you're looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. From 100 yards away, those look the same. But since I know this mushroom better, and I'm learning it more and more, each time I hunt for it, I can see the pattern. I can see the pattern, and I can see and feel where and which way I need to go. And I think if I applied that to more aspects of my life, I would have great success. And my relationships would be strong, my friendships would be strong, which they are. But they would just continue to grow stronger. So that's the lesson I'm going to take for myself from this mushroom hunting foray. delicious. And look, again, when you find one, usually you can find more. Usually you can find the people that you're looking for. You'll find the mushroom you're looking for. If you feel into the energy of what it is, the energy of the pattern of who they are, how they express themselves. It could be an interesting way to live your life. And then maybe if you don't know where to look, you've kind of lost the track, you go back to where you found it before. You found what you wanted before. Maybe there's something you missed. Maybe there's a clue you didn't realize. And then you might find some more of that joy, some more of those beautiful relationships. If you take your time, if you regulate your nervous system, if you relax. We're moving too fast. I'm moving too fast. And it's actually has a very negative effect on my life. I know that to be true. So now, from now on, I'm going to take it slower, continue to take it slower, breathe into the situations that I'm in, allow them to develop. Don't rush. Don't rush. And you can find it